Welcome to my channel, Real Mission Stories. Today, I bring you a story that will pull you into the quiet heart of courage, where fear turns into focus and survival becomes instinct. It's a story about a woman who once lived in the shadows of war, and how those same shadows followed her into the light of ordinary life. Listen closely, because what you're about to hear isn't just a tale of action. It's about the weight of experience, the calm inside chaos, and how training never truly leaves a warrior's soul. The evening was painted in gold and gray. Waves rolled softly against the pier, and seagulls circled above the restless water. The city's heartbeat echoed through the streets' laughter. Car horns, distant music blending into a rhythm that belonged only to nights like this. Neon lights flickered to life, glowing against puddles left by an earlier rain. People hurried past with the ease of those who believe danger is something that happens to other people. Riley Cross moved among them like a ghost. She carried a small grocery bag, her steps measured and light. Her face was calm, unreadable. The jeans and faded hoodies she wore made her invisible, just another soul passing through the noise. But beneath that quiet exterior lay the precision of someone who had once lived by seconds and breaths. Once, Riley had been part of the world's most elite fighting force, a Navy SEAL. Trained in the art of silence and survival, her world had been steel, salt water, and sweat. She had learned to move underwater without a ripple, to fight in the dark without sound, to steady her pulse under pressure that could break lesser souls. But all of that was behind her now, or so she told herself. She turned into a narrow street lined with closed shops, where the chatter of the city faded into echoing footsteps. The air felt heavier there, too still. She adjusted her grip on the grocery bag and quickened her pace. Then, from the alley's shadows, movement. 3 figures stepped into the dim light, young, tense eyes sharp with hunger and desperation. The tallest one wore a black jacket torn at the sleeve. His voice was low, sharp, and cold. Wallet and phone. Now, Riley stopped. Her breath didn't quicken. Her pulse didn't spike. The part of her brain that once measured every threat switched on like a silent machine. Distance. 2 meters. 3 opponents. 1 armed knife in back pocket. The leader's stance unstable. The air smelled of alcohol and fear. "I don't want any trouble," she said softly, raising her hands. But they took her calm for weakness. "Then hand it over," the second man growled, circling closer. The third one spat on the ground, grinning. "Pretty girl like you shouldn't be alone out here." Riley sighed faintly, the sound more like disappointment than fear. She reached for her pocket, slow, deliberate, when the leader suddenly grabbed her wrist, yanking her forward. His grip was rough, his knuckles digging into her skin, and something inside her shifted that deep. A cold place where old instincts slept. Her mind flashed back, the pressure of water crushing her lungs during a training dive. The sound of an instructor yelling, "Don't fight it. Control it." She could almost feel the ocean closing in around her again. That deadly calm before blacking out. She inhaled once. Deep and steady. The third man lunged, his hand wrapping around her throat. The world narrowed to the pulse in her neck and the roughness of his fingers. The city's noise faded. Laughter and music became a distant hum. Riley's body stilled, completely. In training, she had learned that panic was death. The more you struggled, the faster you drowned. So she didn't fight it, not yet. Her eyes locked on the man's face, cold and calculating. He sneered. "Not so tough now, huh?" But his expression faltered. Riley's gaze was still empty, unreadable, the look of someone who had seen far worse. It unnerved him. His grip loosened just slightly, and that was enough. Riley dropped her weight suddenly, twisting her arm free and spinning under his hold. The movement was fluid, precise, a dance born of muscle memory. Her elbow shot back, striking his ribs once, twice, 3 times, before he even registered what happened. The man folded, air whooshing from his lungs. The second attacker rushed in, swinging a fist. Riley ducked low, pivoted, and struck his throat with the heel of her palm. A dull crack. He staggered, clutching his neck, gasping. She swept his legs from under him. He hit the pavement hard. The tall one shouted, rage burning through his fear. He charged, wild and untrained. Riley sidestepped, breathing in slow, deep, and drove her knee into his gut. He doubled over, choking. Every motion was controlled, efficient, quiet. But before she could reset, something looped tight around her neck. From behind, a fourth man yanked a rope backward, pulling her off balance. She hadn't seen him. The pressure crushed against her windpipe. Her feet scraped against the ground, her vision blurred. The world dimmed at the edges. Any ordinary person would have blacked out, but Riley wasn't ordinary. She closed her eyes, let her body go still again, and reached inward. Her breath slowed to almost nothing. She could hear her heartbeat steady, rhythmic, controlled. The man behind her cursed. "Why aren't you going down?" He pulled harder, but Riley shifted her weight suddenly, using his own strength against him. She turned sharply, wrapping the rope around his arm, flipping him forward onto the concrete. He hit the ground with a cry. In a second, she had him pinned, her knee pressing into his shoulder. "Enough," she said quietly. The others groaned, clutching their sides. Fear replaced fury. "What are you?" one of them whispered. Riley looked at them, eyes cold and steady. "Retired Navy SEAL." At the words landed like thunder, the men froze. The realization drained the color from their faces. They scrambled to their feet, limping away, tripping over themselves to escape. "You're insane," one of them spat. "You're a monster," oh, she said softly. "Just trained." Their footsteps faded into the night. Silence returned. Riley leaned back against the cold wall, her breaths long and measured, fighting the tremble in her hands. The adrenaline slowly drained away, leaving behind the ache of memories she thought she had buried. A small sound broke the quiet. A voice, soft, nervous. "Ma'am, are you okay?" Riley turned. A teenage boy stood behind a dumpster, clutching a skateboard, eyes wide with awe and tears. He had seen everything. "I'm fine," she said gently. He stepped closer, hesitant. "My sister got attacked once. No one helped her. You're like a superhero." Her throat tightened. "I'm not a hero," she whispered. "Just someone who survived." The boy looked down, then bent to pick something off the ground. He held out a small, weathered patch, a Navy SEAL emblem. "You dropped this," he said. Riley froze. That patch had followed her through years of missions, through loss and guilt and silence. She thought she had lost it for good. "Maybe," the boy said softly, "you should help more people, like you helped me tonight." She knelt to meet his eyes. "What's your name?" "Leo. Thank you, Leo," she said quietly. "You reminded me why I trained." His small smile broke something open in her, something that had been locked away for years. She placed a hand on his shoulder. "If you're ever scared," she said, "breathe like this." She inhaled deeply, paused, then exhaled slowly. "It helps you think. It helps you survive." "Does it really work?" "It saved my life more times than I can count." Sirens grew louder, echoing through the streets. Police cars turned into the alley, lights flashing red and blue against the walls. Officers rushed in, stunned by the sight, 3 unconscious men, ropes, bruises, and one calm woman standing amid the chaos. "Ma'am," one officer said, "did you do this?" Riley hesitated. "They attacked me. I defended myself." Leo jumped forward. "She saved me too. They were going to hurt me, but she stopped them." The officer studied Riley, her breathing, her stance, too controlled, too practiced. "You military?" he asked. "Retired," she answered quietly. "Special forces?" he pressed. After a moment, she nodded once. The officer's expression softened. "Thank you for your service, and for tonight." People often thanked her for service, but not for surviving. Those words meant more than he knew. Leo hugged her suddenly, arms tight around her waist. Riley froze, unsure how to react, then slowly returned the embrace. "You're not alone," he whispered, "even if it feels like it." Her eyes burned. When the officers led the criminals away, she stood still, watching the reflections of police lights fade into the wet street. The air smelled of rain and salt. She looked up at the stars and breathed calm, steady, alive. She walked Leo home, talking softly about courage and calm. He listened, eyes wide, memorizing every word. When she reached her apartment, she placed the seal emblem on her table. For years, it had been a reminder of guilt. Tonight, it became a symbol of purpose. Her phone buzzed, a message from a number she hadn't seen in years. Her old commander. "I heard what happened," it read. "The world still needs people like you. Come back. Train the next generation. Teach them to breathe." Riley stared at the message, tears rolling silently down her face. She typed back, "I'm ready." The ocean outside her window shimmered in the moonlight. She watched it vast, calm, endless, and took one last deep, controlled breath. For the first time in years, it didn't feel like survival. It felt like peace. Thank you for watching this powerful story. If it touched your heart, like, comment, and subscribe to Real Mission Stories, where every tale honors those who live, fight, and breathe for others. Until next time, stay strong, stay aware, and never forget to breathe.